Hi guys, I'm going to talk to you about a customer's car that I did some work back in February on, and this is a cool one. So this customer, I've got the hood off the car because I'm going to do some work to it. This guy here is the definition of daily driver. The owner of this car, this is his only car, and I had the opportunity to do a little work. It's a 55 hardtop. Do a little work to it to really make it better for him. So what I ended up doing on this car is the wiring is atrocious on it. So it had 0 fuses, it had a bunch of tie-ins, a bunch of relays doing things, which is a hot mess. So what I ended up doing is putting in a complete American Auto Wire upgrade kit, which is everything from the headlights to the taillights in the car. It has a fuse panel, fantastic wiring, great directions. Guys, if you ever have an opportunity to rewire an old car, American Auto Wire stuff is fantastic. So I use the expandable loom everywhere I could. This is just an opportunity to check it out, some of the stuff I used. But anyway, the customer wanted air conditioning, so I ended up putting a vintage air kit in it. This is a front mount radiator. So this would be considered a 6-cylinder core support. If you try 5 guys, you know what I'm talking about. But the radiator happened to be a V8 radiator, so which actually mounts on the back side of the core support. When I got the car, it had some really goofy brackets on it, so I ended up cutting them off and welding them on the correct way, and it came out really nice. So I found this Durali 2-speed fan. I swear it was literally built for this application. It fits perfectly against the radiator and under the shroud as it should. Works fantastic. I let the Holly control it. Oh yeah, so I did decide, anyway, we went to a CVF front runner system. I'm sure they don't want it called front runner. It's their serpentine system. It comes with the AC, power steering, alternator, like a small style or short water pump. Reverse rotation. Very nice setup. I've installed a few of these, and man, small block Chevy one fits like a champ. We got the headers recoated by a company over in Tampa. They actually did a black ceramic coating, which I think came out really sweet. And we did decide to go with a Holley Sniper. This is the Stealth series, so it makes it look like a, I don't know, 850 double pumper. It really just makes the car drive very good. And I did do with the Hyperspark distributor, so with the coil, so it has complete control over the timing as well as the fuel. The car does have a 700R4 transmission in it, which I didn't put in it. It came with that. And obviously I like Optimum batteries. Let me put this back down. I like Optimum batteries. I used all 1/aught cable to wire all the high current stuff in. This is the CDI box for the Hyperspark distributor. This is the fuel pressure regulator for the Holley Sniper system, which kind of makes it look like an old school Holley regulator, but it's actually a return style. Fantastic. Anyway, this car runs and drives really well. I mean, this is a completely stock engine, mid-70s smog motor, makes absolutely no horsepower, and it has a bit of a blow-by issue. Motor's tired. You know, she's been around for a while. And that's why the car's here back again. It's tough to pry this car out of the owner's hands. This guy drives this car every day because it has air conditioning and an overdrive transmission, and it has EFI. So, I mean, it's like the best car for him. I did install a radio that has complete Bluetooth connectivity, and it looks old, but it's 100% newer technology. Works great. I can't think of the name, custom auto sound or retro sound, something like that. If I think of it, I'll put the right name in here. But anyway, just a cool car, but more importantly, just a cool owner. I mean, this guy just drives it. We did put a Holley, I think it's actually a Tanks Incorporated tank, so it has a fuel pump inside the tank in the back. That way it just fits like OE, and all the gauges work. It has a Classic Instruments gauge cluster, which looks sort of factory, but it's actually all digital, which is fantastic. Works great. I wired it in using a Deutsch connector on the backside to the American Auto wire harness, and yeah, it came out sweet. So when I was getting back to this, again, this is a pretty tired, I mean, I gave it a good cleaning, and I repainted it and resealed it, and it runs great. It's just maybe not to the power level that he's after. Again, it has a little bit of blow by. It's not terrible, but it's just, you know, it's time. So the reason why the car is back is that we ordered a new motor for the car. So it will have a Blueprint 383 complete brand new crate engine. I bought a long block. I'll reuse, you know, the EFI, the intake manifold, which is a great, the Edelbrock dual plane intake manifold should work great. Anyway, yeah, this motor came directly from Blueprint. Took a little longer than we expected to get it. It's not the end of the world. Hey, they're busy. You know, the cool thing about these Blueprint crate engines, in my opinion, is that it's a brand new block. It's not a seasoned block. It's not a block that came out of an old dump truck or, you know, a bitchin' Camaro or anything like that. It's a brand new block cast by Blueprint, and as well as the cylinder heads as well. I got some tape on there, so when I put the engine hoist on, it doesn't scratch the front of the heads up. But yeah, these are actually their heads too. And yeah, I think this motor's rated at like 420 horsepower, 440 foot-pounds of torque, something like that. The dyno sheet says otherwise. This one's a little spicy, boys. Apparently this one is good for, like, maybe it's built on Wednesday morning or what have you, but this is like 450 horse, 470 or 68 foot-pounds of torque. So it should absolutely wake up this 55 Chevy, and that's the plan. So dig this, we're gonna go ahead and dig this small block out of here over the next couple of days. Reuse, obviously, the whole system because it works great. And then we're just gonna, you know, double the horsepower basically, or maybe more than double the horsepower of this car, which I'm sure will lend us doing something to the rear axle, because it has a stock 55 Chevy rear axle peg leg 323 in it, 323 gears. So I think the gear ratio is probably pretty close. The guy drives the car quite a bit on the highway, which, as he should. Drives it to play golf, plays golf like 3 days a week, and we want it to be pretty manageable on the highway. And the plan is to have probably like a Ford 9-inch in it from, I don't know, maybe Quick Performance or Curry, someone like that makes like a drop-in style 55 Chevy 9-inch Ford, thinking like 330 gears, somewhere at 331 gears or something. Whatever the ratio is close to that, the Ford style, because I think the ratio is pretty good with the tire size he has. So anyway, I just wanted guys to tell you about this car. Again, the owner of this car is just an awesome guy. I feel honored to work on the car, and I want to make it right for him.